ancient Stoics knew how to handle anxiety without medication. Imagine a world where the mind is a safe harbor, even amidst the storm. "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it," said Epictetus. This wisdom invites us to explore practical techniques that can transform your relationship with anxiety. Here, each breath becomes an anchor, and every negative thought presents an opportunity for growth. Have you ever stopped to consider how small changes can lead to significant impacts on your mental health? Stoic techniques are within your reach, offering a path to emotional balance, even in challenging times. Negative visualization, acceptance, and breathing practices are just a few of the tools we'll uncover. Each has been tested and approved over the centuries, and now they can be the key to your inner peace. Prepare to dive into a universe where philosophy becomes action. Anxiety can be daunting, but with Stoic teachings you can find a new perspective on it. Let's embark on this journey of transformation and self-discovery together. Stoic breathing techniques. Stoic breathing techniques are valuable tools for those seeking to calm the mind and reduce anxiety. In stressful moments, our breathing can become quick and shallow, which only exacerbates the situation. The Stoics, who always valued self-control, taught that breathing consciously can be a pathway to serenity. When we dedicate a few minutes to focus on our breath, we can slow down our thoughts and regain our center. One of the simplest practices involves deep breathing. Imagine you are in a peaceful place. Inhale slowly through your nose, allowing your abdomen to expand, and then exhale through your mouth, releasing all the air. This cycle of breathing helps bring the mind back to the present and away from worries. Stoicism emphasizes that controlling the breath is also controlling emotions. Therefore, with each conscious breath, we are, in fact, performing an exercise in self-control. Another technique is counted breathing. As you inhale, count to 4, hold your breath for 4 seconds, and then exhale while counting to 4 again. This practice not only calms, but also helps create a pause between stimulus and response. The Stoics believed this pause was essential for reflection before acting, avoiding impulsive reactions that could lead to anxiety. Additionally, Stoic breathing can be utilized in times of crisis. When anxiety knocks at the door, how about stopping and taking a few deep breaths? This not only calms the body, but also eases the mind, allowing you to think more clearly. Thus, the practice of breathing becomes a powerful ally in the quest for tranquility amidst the chaos of everyday life. Incorporating these techniques into your daily routine can be a game changer. Starting the day with a session of conscious breathing, or using these tools in moments of stress, can transform how we cope with adversity. The Stoics teach us that controlling our breath is fundamental to controlling our emotions, and this is a valuable lesson we can apply every day. Negative visualization. Negative visualization may seem like a strange practice at first, but it is one of the keys to Stoic thought. This technique involves imagining adverse scenarios, thinking about the worst possibilities that could happen. While this might seem pessimistic, the goal is to prepare the mind for challenges while cultivating gratitude for what we have. Rather than being an exercise in despair, it is a way to prepare for life. Imagine you are about to give an important presentation. Instead of only focusing on the positive aspects, visualize what could go wrong. What if you forget your lines? What if the audience isn't interested? By confronting these fears, you become stronger and more resilient. Negative visualization is not meant to paralyze you. It's meant to prepare you. This way, you realize that regardless of what happens, you have internal resources to cope with difficulties. Moreover, this practice helps us appreciate what we have. When we think about what could be lost, we start to see things in a new light. It's common amidst the hustle and bustle of daily life to forget to appreciate the little things. Negative visualization invites us to be grateful, as by imagining loss, we recognize the value of each moment and every achievement. This gratitude is a powerful force against anxiety. Another important aspect is that negative visualization teaches us to accept uncertainty. Life is full of surprises, and we often feel anxious about not knowing what's to come. By practicing this technique, we learn to accept that things may not go as planned, and that is part of the human experience. This acceptance brings us a sense of relief and freedom. Negative visualization can also serve as motivation. By imagining challenges, you prepare yourself to overcome them, creating a mental scenario where you emerge victorious. This mindset can be incredibly useful in moments that require courage and determination. So instead of fearing what might go wrong, Embrace negative visualization as a method to strengthen your mind and prepare for life. Acceptance of reality. Acceptance of reality is one of the cornerstones of Stoic thought. Stoic philosophy teaches that we cannot control everything around us, and resisting this truth only increases our anxiety. By accepting what we cannot change, we find a lighter path to navigate life's uncertainties. This acceptance is not a sign of weakness, but rather a mark of wisdom and emotional maturity. When we face a difficult situation, such as losing a job or going through a breakup, we often find ourselves struggling against reality. We question what could have been done differently and torment ourselves with what is already done. However, the Stoics remind us that acceptance is fundamental to inner peace. Accepting reality allows us to focus on what we can truly control, our reactions and decisions from that moment on. Acceptance and emotional relief. Moreover, acceptance brings considerable emotional relief. When we stop fighting against the inevitable, we begin to release the emotional burden we carry. This lightness is essential for maintaining a clear and focused mind. Instead of getting lost in negative thoughts, you can concentrate on finding solutions and moving forward. This active approach helps reduce anxiety and cultivate a more serene mental state. Acceptance of reality also aids in developing resilience. By learning to cope with what we cannot control, we become stronger in the face of adversity. Life is filled with challenges, and those who practice acceptance tend to confront these moments with more courage and determination. This does not mean being passive, but rather recognizing that some things are beyond our reach, and our strength lies in how we respond to them. Acceptance is an invitation to self-discovery. By confronting reality, we begin to understand our own limitations and capabilities. This understanding allows us to make wiser choices and prepares us to handle future difficulties. Therefore, by adopting acceptance as part of our daily lives, we can not only reduce anxiety but also grow as individuals, learning to navigate the turbulent waters of life with more confidence and clarity. Focus on the present. Living in the present is one of the pillars of Stoic philosophy, and for good reason. Often we get lost in thoughts about what may happen tomorrow, or even in memories of what has already passed. This tendency to worry about the future or dwell on the past can be a significant thief of peace. The Stoics teach us that true life happens now, in every moment we live. When we focus on the present, we are better able to perceive what is around us and make the most of the opportunities life offers. Furthermore, when we concentrate on the present, anxiety tends to diminish. Instead of allowing our thoughts to wander into uncertain predictions or regrets, we can anchor ourselves in the current reality. This does not mean ignoring future plans, but recognizing that what we can truly control is what we do at this very moment. By practicing mindfulness, we begin to realize that many of our concerns are merely projections of our minds that may never come to fruition. The Stoics suggest several practices to help cultivate this present-focused mindset. One of them is meditation, which can be a powerful tool to calm the mind and bring us back to the now. By dedicating time to simply breathe and be present, we can better manage the challenging situations that arise on our path. This practice helps us develop greater self-awareness and awareness of our surroundings, enabling us to make more conscious and thoughtful decisions. Another way to practice present focus is through gratitude. When we take a moment to appreciate the small things we have in life, such as a ray of sunshine, a warm cup of coffee, or the company of a friend, we start to value what is right in front of us. This shift in perspective helps us see the beauty of the current moment instead of getting lost in worries about what may come next. In doing so, we create an internal space of tranquility and joy that reflects in our actions and interactions. Living in the present is not just a technique, but a way of being. By adopting this practice in our daily lives, we begin to realize that life is made up of moments that, when fully lived, bring deep satisfaction. The serenity we seek is not in an uncertain future, but in our ability to appreciate each moment with all its ups and downs. Thus, by focusing on the present, we become more resilient and capable of facing the challenges life presents. Development of virtue. The development of virtue is a central aspect of Stoic philosophy and a powerful pathway to strengthening emotional resilience. The Stoics believed that true happiness and peace of mind come from cultivating virtues such as courage, wisdom, justice, and moderation. When we strive to live according to these principles, we begin to build a strong character that helps us better handle anxiety and life's difficulties. One of the first steps in developing virtue is self-assessment. we need to ask ourselves which virtues we want to cultivate and how we can incorporate them into our daily lives. For example, if we decide to focus on courage, we can challenge ourselves to face situations we previously avoided, such as speaking in public or expressing our feelings. These small actions may seem insignificant, but over time, they build our confidence and help us confront anxiety more firmly. Wisdom, in turn, teaches us to discern between what we can control and what we cannot. Often, anxiety arises from our struggle against what is beyond our reach. By recognizing this difference, we can direct our energy toward actions that truly make a difference rather than worrying about what we cannot change. This mental clarity gives us a sense of freedom and makes us more capable of facing daily challenges. Additionally, the practice of justice invites us to act ethically and fairly. By treating others with respect and dignity, we create a more harmonious environment around us. This not only strengthens us emotionally, but also helps us build healthier relationships. When we are in harmony with those around us, anxiety tends to diminish as we feel supported and understood. Moderation reminds us of the importance of balance in our lives. In a world that often pushes us to seek more and more, the practice of moderation teaches us to value what we already have. This is particularly relevant when it comes to dealing with anxiety. By cultivating the virtue of moderation, we learn to appreciate the small things in life, which helps us maintain serenity even in times of uncertainty. Therefore, the development of virtue is not just a goal, but an ongoing journey that guides us toward a fuller and more meaningful life. Daily reflection. The practice of daily reflection is a valuable tool that the Stoics use to promote self-awareness and continuous improvement. By setting aside time to analyze our actions and thoughts, we gain a better understanding of our motivations and behavioral patterns. This reflection allows us to identify areas where we can grow and develop, reducing anxiety and increasing our emotional resilience. A moment of reflection can be as simple as sitting in a quiet place and considering what happened throughout the day. What did we do well? What could have been different? By asking these questions, we start to realize that each experience, whether positive or negative, offers a learning opportunity. This approach helps us view life as a continuous process of growth, rather than just a series of successes or failures. Another common practice among Stoics was reflective writing. They often wrote down their thoughts and feelings in a journal. This habit not only helps us organize our ideas, but also allows us to distance ourselves emotionally from situations that trouble us. By putting our thoughts on paper, we can analyze them from a new perspective, which can be incredibly liberating. This writing practice helps us cultivate a more constructive inner dialogue that is less prone to anxiety. Additionally, daily reflection allows us to set clearer goals and objectives. By analyzing our actions, we can identify what truly matters to us and how we can direct our efforts to achieve it. This clarity gives us a sense of purpose and direction, which is crucial for maintaining serenity amid the chaos of life. When we know where we are headed, the uncertainties of the future become less threatening. The practice of daily reflection is also a way to cultivate gratitude. By looking back and acknowledging the good things that happened, even on tough days, we can shift our perspective. This shift helps us appreciate what we have and maintain a positive attitude, even in the face of adversity. Thus, daily reflection becomes a powerful tool for confronting anxiety and living with greater fullness and meaning. Daily reflection practice. The practice of daily reflection is one of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy and can be a powerful tool for those seeking self-awareness and emotional control. At the end of each day, dedicating time to analyze our actions and thoughts can help identify behavioral patterns and feelings that often go unnoticed in the hustle and bustle of daily life. This analysis doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as mentally reviewing what happened and how we reacted to each situation. During this reflection, it's important to ask ourselves, what did I do well today? What could I have done differently? These simple questions can open the door to an honest evaluation of our attitudes. By recognizing our successes, we reinforce the positive aspects of ourselves. By identifying our flaws, we have the opportunity to learn and grow. This practice not only reduces anxiety by helping us understand our emotions better, but also prepares us for future challenges by teaching us to act more consciously. Moreover, daily reflection helps us develop a sense of responsibility for our lives. When we pause to think about how we contribute to the situations we face, we become more proactive in changing what we dislike. Instead of feeling like victims of circumstance, we realize we have the power to influence our own destinies. This can be a significant relief, especially in times of uncertainty and stress. Another important aspect of reflection is the ability to cultivate gratitude. By contemplating the past day, we can identify moments and people for whom we are grateful. This gratitude practice not only enhances our emotional state, but also helps us shift our perspective on what we consider important. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we create a healthier and more positive mental space. Daily reflection can also serve as an exercise in acceptance. By revisiting the day's events, we may recognize that some situations were beyond our control. Accepting this is a crucial step in reducing anxiety. Instead of fighting against what we cannot change, we learn to direct our energy toward what we can control, such as our reactions and attitudes. Thus, reflection becomes not just a moment of analysis, but a true path to self-awareness and serenity. Inspiring. Quote by Marcus Aurelius. One of the most memorable quotes by Marcus Aurelius. "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," invites us to reflect on the power we have over our own minds. This statement is a reminder that, in many situations, how we approach challenges determines our level of happiness and tranquility. The quality of our thoughts can be a game changer, especially when dealing with anxiety and the stresses of everyday life. When we think negatively or pessimistically, our reality tends to become bleak. We may feel overwhelmed by worries and fears, which only heightens our anxiety. However, by cultivating positive and constructive thoughts, we begin to see the world differently. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that by shaping our minds, we can face challenges more effectively. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties, but rather approaching them with a mindset that seeks solutions. This concept leads us to the practice of self-analysis. By observing our thoughts and questioning their validity, we can cultivate a more critical and reflective mind. The simple act of asking ourselves, "Is this thought really true?" can be transformative. Often we find that our worries are based on assumptions rather than concrete facts. This awareness is an important step in reducing anxiety and increasing emotional resilience. Furthermore, Marcus Aurelius's quote reminds us of the importance of maintaining a balanced perspective. In times of crisis, it's easy to get swept away by catastrophic thoughts. However, by focusing on the quality of our thoughts, we can find space for hope and positivity. This encourages us to view challenges as learning opportunities rather than insurmountable obstacles. The message from Marcus Aurelius invites us to engage in the daily practice of conscious thinking. By becoming more aware of the quality of our thoughts, we can shape not only our reactions but also our reality. Thus, Stoic philosophy teaches us that, although we cannot control everything that happens around us, we can always control how we choose to think about those experiences. And this choice is undoubtedly fundamental to our happiness and well-being. As we explore Stoic techniques for dealing with anxiety, it's essential to remember that each day is a new opportunity to apply these teachings. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to us that disturbs us, but our opinion about it." This quote invites us to reflect on the power we hold in our choices and thoughts. Now imagine yourself taking a deep breath, releasing tension, while negative visualization helps you see beyond your fears. What if, instead of avoiding discomfort, you embraced it as part of the process? How about trying that today? Each technique we discuss isn't just theory. They are practical tools that can transform your perspective on the world. So, how can you apply what you've learned here in your daily routine? Think of a situation that causes you anxiety and try using one of the Stoic strategies. What will you discover about yourself? And if you could help someone else who is also struggling with this, how would you do that? Remember, the journey to a strong mind begins with small steps. Why not take the first one today? Let's build this resilience together.